Rosa Mota, the reigning world and Olympic marathon champion. Rosa lives and grew up in Porto, one of Portugal's oldest seaports, a place with a traditional, conservative and Catholic heritage. Here on the streets and beaches of Porto, Rosa began her running and now trains for over 2 hours a day, covering more than 100 miles a week. Growing up in a country where women were not encouraged to pursue sport had its difficulties.
I started running at school when I was 14 years of age. Sometimes people would shout to me, "Go home, that's a woman's place."
At 16, Rosa was the national 3,000 meters champion. 8 years later, at the same distance, she finished 12th in the 1982 European Championships. It was here that she also entered the marathon for fun and won the gold medal.
I was very surprised and happy with myself for having run that distance. I'd never run a marathon till then. I went from being a national athlete to an international one. And in Portugal, I received much more recognition.
2 years later, Rosa won a bronze medal at the 1984 Olympics. That race also gave her the opportunity to run alongside one of her great idols.
I have always admired Greta Weitz. She inspired me when I started running. I used to watch her on television at cross-country championships around the world. When I first started running, it was a thrill to compete against her. I admire her simplicity. She never makes excuses for a bad run. She was a very good example to follow.
Another great influence on Rosa's running career is José Pedrosa, her doctor, coach and longtime companion, who gave up his own career as a doctor to look after hers.
He provides me with so much support. He's considerate and so helpful. And I believe that every athlete needs that. As well as being my best friend, he's a good coach. He treats me as a person, not a machine.
Rosa considers her greatest moment to be her victory at the 1987 World Championships in Rome, where she won by over 7 minutes.
It was my best performance in a marathon in my whole life. It was very hot and humid, and the ground was very difficult. Looking back on those conditions, yeah, it was definitely my best ever marathon.
Shortly after the World Championships, Rosa was banned from running by the Portuguese Athletics Federation for declining to represent her country in a road race. She was recovering from injury at the time. So began a long quarrel with the federation that still goes on today. They threatened to withdraw her from the Seoul Olympics, and the situation got so bad that President Soares of Portugal threatened to intervene. Eventually, the Minister of Sport stepped in, and Rosa was given permission to run. The marathon is an event that requires a strength of mind as well as body, and despite these outside pressures, Rosa went on to win gold in Seoul. Rosa excels above other marathon runners because of her ability to handle difficult undulating courses and hot, humid conditions. Seoul was one of her toughest marathons, but she came through to become the first ever Portuguese woman to win Olympic gold.
No final, o
Despite all her troubles with the Athletics Federation, Rosa has brought respect and distinction to Portuguese athletics. On their return from Seoul, she and José Pedrosa were honored with the Ordem Mérito by President Soares.
José Pedrosa, técnico de Rosa Mota, foi também agraciado pelo Estado português. José Pedrosa foi condecorado.
At the age of 32, Rosa Mota continues to compete and provide inspiration to a new generation of Portuguese athletes.
I hope to run for a long time. Maybe I will change my standard of competition. When I can't compete in international events, I will run smaller races, because for me, all I love to do is to run.